Hello everyone, my name is Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art. Today is day 8 of 365 days of junk journal ideas. Today we are going to be playing with our scraps, using up some of those small scraps that we always find in the bottom of our scrap bin that are typically nearing the trash can. Let me find my scraps here and we will get started. So I have a pile of scraps. These are very small scraps. About an inch by maybe 2 or 3 inches. Some of them are much smaller than that. Little strips, offcuts of cardstock, offcuts of masterboards, little pieces of scrapbooking paper. So what I'm using today is cardstock. I also have braille paper. This is a masterboard that was cut up. So the point that I'm showing you here is that everything has a sturdiness, a thickness to it. So that's what I'm going to show you what to do with today is scraps. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is gather up all of your scraps. I'm working with rectangles today. You can work with any shape that you want to work with. You could work with rough torn pieces. But what we're going to do is we're going to assemble little, pretend like you were collaging today. You're going to not glue anything down. There's no glue involved in today. But basically, we're going to build little collage stacks, and then I will show you what we're going to do with them after that. So you just want to start out by layering out your pieces. So you're going to build whatever looks good to your eye. And in the beginning, you're just going to have to layer things out and see, what looks good where. So at this point, I'm just playing with colors and I'm saying, okay, well, these two colors look good together. This is an exercise in collage. So for people who might struggle with collage, this is a great exercise for you to do. So right now you can see I'm just kind of assembling things into color coordinated piles where I think certain color combinations look good together. I do try to mix in, so some of it is antique papers and some of it is just printed cardstock. I do try to mix in the antique papers with the printed cardstock, some type of textured paper. So you're going to just keep layering and building, and you're just building little cluster stacks at this point. It's not an actual cluster. We're just going to keep going, and I'll do this here for a few minutes while we're, you guys get to watch me sort this out. It's not alive necessarily, but it's as close to alive as you could probably get right now. Don't know where those two are going yet. So we're just doing this in real time. Don't know yet for this one. Here's some purple pieces. I can pull, oh, you can't see my pile here. I can pull some purple pieces out. So I'm just keeping these little color coordinated families together right now. So I've got some purple pieces. I can pull them out. So if you're new to collaging or you struggle with collage, a good thing to do is if you don't have any scraps, go ahead and cut yourself up some scraps. Scraps are, just little small pieces of paper. It doesn't have to mean that you used, it for something first. You could just start out by cutting yourself some scraps. And so you just want little, little rectangles, little strips of paper. And I'm just going to start assembling little color coordinated families and keep working with this, keep working with these scraps like this. I can try to just move, right down the pile here. And you can see I've got some neutral in. I'm going to move my scraps off to the side just for a second. I don't know where this can go yet. There we go. And from here, I've got a dark blue. I've got some red here. This red might need to go with maybe these ones here. So just keep working in that manner. This one. Here's an orange. Maybe we end up putting the orange up there. Here's a yellow. Maybe the yellow can go in that family. I've got a tiny little one here. I don't know where he's going to go. There's another blue. Here's another blue. So right now in this blue section, I've just got all blue, all blue papers. And so then we're just going to keep working with it. I've got a little family here that's kind of neutral, neutral colors and an aqua blue. And so you assemble your piles as best as you can. So we've got this little one here, and I'm going to go ahead and add these. Maybe that in those. We'll see. It's a work in progress. You'll have to keep playing with it until you get it to where you want it to be. Maybe we'll do this map with this purple. So you can see where I'm just, you know, coordinating colors together. And I'm just going off of what looks good to my eye. There's no rhyme or reason other than that. I've got some extra pieces off to the side here. This is what I've been left with so far. And then we've got another blue one here. Here's a different one in this aqua family. So I'm just sorting out my entire pile of scraps into little color coordinated families. And I'm working on layering from the longest down to the shortest. So the largest up to the smallest piece. And just doing it how my eye sees it. I don't really know how else to tell you. It is an exercise in collage, like I said. So you're just going to have to play with your scraps until you get something that you're happy with. And so if I need to trim something down, I can do that. And so right now I've got a little bit of extra pieces over here. I don't know where they're going to go. So I'm going to actually, let's see, what will we do here? We have things kind of, we have little piles of about 3 to 5 pieces right now. I would like to go ahead and start getting them to where we've got 5 to 7 little pieces. And so I like this color combination. This is a good one. And he's got 5 pieces. So I'm going to stack it up kind of like this, just like a little cluster. But I'm not going to glue anything together. And I'm going to set this one off to the side. I'm pretty happy with that one. And then I'm going to look at this one here. This is our little purple guy, kind of purple and green. It's cute. I think maybe I might swap in or out a piece there. And then we've also got this handwriting here. Maybe the handwriting needs to go in there. I need to keep playing with this one. You'll see me edit these several times before I go ahead and move on to the next step. And so we don't have any actual old book page in this one. Maybe we do something like this for now there. The blue one, I think is pretty good here. He's only got 4 pieces and his 2 bottom pieces are almost exactly the same size. So if I layer it up and I can't see any piece underneath, then that tells me that it needs to be rearranged. If I get to the end and I just can't make it work, then what I will do is I will leave a piece overhang like this, telling me that I need to come and I need to trim off a little part of that piece right there. So just because your scraps are this size doesn't mean you can't edit them, but I'm trying not to have to get the scissors out and do any type of editing at this point. So maybe we need to put this map back here. I like that better. And then we've got these ones here. And so we've got a very long piece here. And then my next longest would be this Braille paper. And then that one. And then that one. Now these are almost exactly the same size again. So I think what I'll do is pull this one out, put that one in, the handwriting. Maybe I can take this one and put it somewhere else. I think this blue is just bothering me here. So let's try that. And then we've got some handwriting here. So I kind of like that one. That one's looking good. Let's go ahead and stick that in there. Love that. Okay. So we're still to this blue here that's giving me a problem. So you're just going to continue to work with it. I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera. I will get all of my arrangements finished and then I will come back on and show you the next step. All right, so I've assembled all of my little piles. I've put them into the way that they look good to me. And from here, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out our crocodile tool. If you haven't ever used the crocodile tool or you think yours is broken, the first thing to check is this little pin right here. This little pin, you have to squeeze the handle and then push that pin down, and then your handle will open the rest of the way. So that's a good thing to know if you think your crocodile is broken. Oftentimes it's not. These little things off to the side are depth setters. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to poke holes in these. So you want to line everything up. You want to center it all. You want to line it all up. And so sometimes I will use a paper clip and just hold them into place, but you're going to just line them up with your fingers as best as you can. They're going to move a little bit anyway, but I do try to center them from the beginning and then make sure everything is all the way down to the end. So you want everything to be at this end down here and everything to be centered where it is going, you know, from largest to smallest. Then we're going to punch our hole right here in the center, right there. Little hole. I used the small one, not the large one. And then from here, I'm just going to hold that for a minute with my finger. We have options. We can tie them together with string like this. You can put an eyelet in there and you can, you know, use an eyelet to keep all of your tags together. We'll do it a couple of different ways. This first little bundle, I'm just going to use string for. So this is more like a baker's twine kind of a string. I'm going to fresh cut my edge because it'll help me get it through that little hole. And then I'm going to attempt to pick back up my pieces and put this string through the hole. You're going to test my eyesight like this with me. So put your string in, tie these guys up. I don't know if I can do this. I need a little pokey tool. But anyway, put your string in there. Sometimes it's better to have a pokey tool. And so also the end of your string, this is just baker's twine. It's not waxed, the waxed thread that we would sew our signature in. So anyway, put your string in. I will do this a couple different ways so that you guys can see. So let me set that one to the side. I also have some very small lace that I could tie mine up with. I have some of this fuzzy fiber yarn. You could use that to tie yours up with. This is a much more narrow, small string. This is actually crochet or tatting thread. It's a vintage spool of that. If you poked a bigger hole, you could put some crinkled seam binding in there. And then of course I have some natural. So let me go ahead and hole punch these, get them all tied up, and I will also put some eyelets in and I will be right back. All right, so I've got one last little cluster. I actually made another one so that I could show you guys how to get the string through when you have one that's being difficult and you can't get that string to go through. So again, we're going to punch our little hole right here. And then I'm going to use that baker's twine. Now I've got a nice edge, so I probably can get it through. However, I did. If your tags at any point in time become off center and you lose your hole, just work your little pokey tool back through the hole. You can actually, after you poke the hole, set your little tags to the side. Usually it will sit up and like that. And then it will hold your hole for you. So it acts like an extra pair of hands. And so after you get them all together, again, if you ever need to recenter your hole, just put it on your pokey tool. After you get them all together, they're little charms that you can add into your junk journals. And they're kind of fun. They're interactive. People can flip through them. It's basically a bunch of tiny little pieces of paper that we would not have another purpose for while junk journaling. So to tie it, I just leave them so that the tags can move. I did do it a variety of ways, but I leave them so that the tags can move. So I just double, tied a knot right there. And then whoever gets your little journal will have all these little things that they can flip through and play with. It just dangles into a journal off the front. You could dangle it anywhere you want to. A clip will hold it. You can tuck it into a pocket. It's just basically your offcuts from a project that you've arranged beautifully. And now the new owner of your journal, if you're making your journals to sell, has all of these fun little bits to play with in their journal. This one I've used that fuzzy fiber ribbon, but you can see they can use these as pieces to work in their journal with. This is the one I use, that super small little, this is a French pink ribbon. And so I've just tied it up here at the top. But again, the tags do move and you can, still play with them. You could undo this. You could make a belly band if you had a big enough one, but they're just super cute little pieces of ephemera to play with in a journal. And it's a good way to use up those scraps that we really, again, they're nearing the bin, right? They're just about to go in the bin if we didn't find some cute way of using them. So this one I've tied seam binding up there, and it's just a variety of little pieces. And here's another one. So that's it for today, guys. We played with our scraps. We made something beautiful. Come back again tomorrow for day 9 of 365 days of junk journal ideas. Thanks for watching.